All right. Well, what's up?
Not
You
much.
workout machine.
Yeah, I've finally been getting back into it. The food thing's another story, but the workouts have finally started to come through.
Yeah.
And even yesterday, like I felt so dead, and then I went for a run and like didn't even really think about it and did my 2 mile run, and I was like, oh, this is coming a little bit easier now. So at least the working out is coming.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and I don't know if that app was helpful or me throwing in a couple more variety of exercises or workouts to do, if that was more, I don't know, motivating, or if your schedule has changed. But yeah, I'm opening up my emails and looking at your through the app, kind of seeing like August 1, boom, you've been on it. So is that more of a schedule change, or has there been a shift in something?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to like, I'm not traveling as much now. My family was here, but I could at least still do some stuff. But that app is ridiculous. And I'm recording this as well, so I kind of want to tell people a little bit about the app. It's what,
Oh,
Trainerize?
solid. Yeah, sure.
So
Trainerize.
Trainerize. Okay,
Yeah.
so Sarah sent me this app called Trainerize, and it's like so awesome because you're in Michigan and you're not here. It's a great way to like kind of keep in touch and track. I don't know. I need more coffee. Um, to just like keep tabs of what's going on. And I love the workouts that you sent me. And for me, like the biggest thing is I'm such a structure person, which is why this has been a struggle for me because I'm on no structure right now, and the travel and everything's been nuts. But
Right. Yeah.
like the workouts in there. And then this week, what I did is I actually Sunday night I scheduled them. I scheduled what days I'm doing what, and
Yes.
it made a huge difference. So what was it, Tuesday night I had a friend come over, and so we're drinking wine, and the next day I was like, I never would have got up and run yesterday had I not been like, well crap, it's on my schedule. So
It's an appointment, right?
yeah,
Yes.
just putting like things to do and adding workout, it's too easy for me to not do that or to sleep in or be like, oh, I'll do it later in the day, and then it doesn't get done. But like to have it
Right.
scheduled.
Like the decision had already been made. That's why waking up and having the workout already set and knowing exactly what you're going to do. Sometimes that part for people is the hardest part, is like, okay, I'm up and awake and I have this time, but now what? What do I do? And when the decision's already made and there's those workouts right there for you, the thinking is out of it.
Yeah.
How are the videos? Did you even look at the videos that were attached to the workouts? Did you view them and think that they were helpful?
Yes. That's like,
Those guys are a little stiff for me. I'm like, smile, buddy. But you're a good looking guy. How about you come and have some fun with this? So, but as long as you know what, right? Not everyone is game for fun. This is a workout. So yeah, I viewed them before I sent them, and I was like, all right, yeah, that's legit. And then the one thing I just wish that the app would do they're like single moves. If I wanted you to say like do like a back lunge with like a shoulder press at the top or something, more of a complex move, the app is a little more limiting there, but I can add those notes to the move. But right now we are starting bare bones for you. You just needed like, hey, just a general lower body workout, upper body, and whatnot. And so at this point, and you and I just touched base, and it was time. You're like, hey, I just need some more variety. Boom, slammed it in there, and it looked like it was perfect timing because I've seen the variety now in your workouts.
Yeah, because it's so easy for me to just go for a run or just go for a hike.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like actual strength training and stuff, I have no idea what to do. And the machines
Right.
are intimidating at the gym. And so I just kind of wander around, maybe do one or two things. But so to have like a list of, here's your workout, and then I schedule it in Tuesday and Thursdays, arms or whatever.
Perfect.
It's made a huge difference. So yeah, I did want to say how much for me like structure really works, and being able to have like an app that schedules it in, and the fact that it connects to MyFitnessPal, which is great. And then MyFitnessPal connects to Map My Run. So when I run, it tracks everything for me.
Happy little family there. It's nice. Yeah. And I gotta tell you, as I haven't really dove into it as a user. I'm using it as a trainer standpoint. So when you were saying these things like, oh, it just syncs to this, I was like, hey, cool. So you're, so thank you for passing on the knowledge to me about, about all the tools and resources that it does sync up with. I mean, it makes sense this day and age that there's an app for everything, and they all need to kind of correspond and link together now. So it's good that it does that, has a capability to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. And I know that it does. So it does some nutrition stuff, and and I know when we started that we tackled it a little bit, but you had, I think you said it in one of your videos, not even corresponding to even just getting on this fitness and healthy lifestyle. You just had so many variables change in like your world. I mean, and it's still just purposely adding more. There's just a time and place for it, so as long as you weren't going crazy with the food and just kind of being like, all right, this is where I can manage. And I think it's kind of come forward now that like that's kind of calmed down your travel, your exercise is increasing, and as you get more of a routine, then we can start tackling the food.
Yeah, and I think that's probably been the most discouraging thing is that I mean, I've done my best to make good decisions, but at the same time, like with the travel and everything, I'll admit I've been stress eating like crazy, and I've actually put on weight, which is very frustrating when it's like I'm trying to make these changes and my pants are getting tighter, like, and it's not muscle, I know it's muscle, it's not muscle. But it's been really hard to like try to be easy on myself and like not get down about it, because then that just sends me spiraling. But I just so I just hired a business coach because like the lack of structure and just feeling like a crazy person trying to do 50 million things, and
yeah, right,
like, oh, I'll add a workout in. I'm already getting up at 6, so what am I supposed to get up at 4? Like, so trying to figure out how to do it all. And she works with like not necessarily health and fitness, but like the overall well-being, like, because we kind of talked yesterday about how I'm working with you, and she was like, okay, we'll get your workouts in this week, and so I'm just trying to figure out ways to get more structure, and I think that will help with the eating thing too. And now that I've kind of sort of figured out a system for the working out a little bit to get it on the planner, and I'm not traveling as much, but even just traveling, like I need to figure out how to rein it in. So, but it really, I think it's just been stress more than anything, because I haven't been going off the deep end.
Well, I mean,
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, what made the workouts work was scheduling. And I'm telling you, that might just be your loophole for everything. And that's where, and I hate to say the trendy word of meal prepping, but the decision's already been made. You've already committed to what you're going to eat, and it's just ready there when you need it, And so just kind of figuring out like your life hacks. Like, how is Monica going to work effectively? Well, it's when she has a plan and a schedule. And some people can just free ball it and free ball. I don't think that was the word I meant to say. Free ball it and just make it work. Yeah, some people do that too. But, you know what I mean? You can just kind of, just anyone without structure, they can still make it work. But I think you might be onto something. If it works in this, if scheduling the fitness works in that department of your world, it probably is a sequence that is just a life hack on how you operate.
Yeah.
So, you hate to like schedule food or something like that, but I mean, you got to mix some things around and see what works and what sticks.
Yeah, because another, to add to the craziness that's been my life is, so with Instacart, you have to have a certain amount of hours before you can, it's called early access, to like make my own schedule. So I don't have that yet. I should have it next week, but I've been trying for months to get that. So I've just been having to take whatever hours come available. So It's really all over the place. And then trying to rack up those hours, I'll do a 10-hour shift and there's no break. So then I'm going through a drive-through or grabbing something at a grocery store. And, I spend my time in grocery stores, which doesn't help. It's like, I'm hungry, I need something, I'll just grab this. Like, right. So that's been a bit nutty, and it's like I can't even meal prep and bring stuff for the hours I'm doing right now because it can't fit in the car. So
right, yeah.
But I think I should have that next week too, which will add a little bit more structure to my life.
Completely, yeah. Putting the pieces together. I mean, when we started, you were you were scattered. It's all coming in together now, and you can you can see it just like just on the times that you've logged in. I'm like, something's changed. Something has changed here. I was like, I don't know what happened, but something is on. Something is clicking. Whether that just be available time to do it, or just figuring out a system.
It was,
and whatever that may be, in this department of fitness, it's clicking right now. And as long as you're consistent enough, maybe like another more week, you're gonna like miss it. You're gonna start getting to that point where you're gonna miss it if you don't do it.
Yeah.
You go, oh my gosh, I am dragging ass today. Oh, that's right, I didn't do my workout today. No wonder. And now you're reaching for Diet Coke, and and then you see the snowball effect of those decisions. So, if you can just keep up with it for a couple more weeks here, you'll start feeling better. And like you said, you did that 2-mile run, and it wasn't until it was about done that you're like, hey, that wasn't that bad, right?
Yeah, and it was so funny because it was one of those days where like maybe the time wasn't as quick or anything, like, because I was just like, I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm just gonna go.
We're setting records, right?
Yeah. But when I started a mile in, I'd be like, there's no way I'm gonna make this, like just huffing and puffing. And so it's been a big part of it, is just getting back into it, and like again, trying to be easy with myself, because it doesn't feel good to run when you're not in your best shape and things like that. But and I feel bad that like I haven't really kept in touch with you. I had this whole plan in my head, but I've just taken on so much stuff. So now I'm like, okay, let's get things in order, because it's just, I told her yesterday, I said, I feel like I'm living in chaos. Like my apartment's a mess. I don't know what's going on. It's like, so I'm trying to like kind of piece together a lot of areas in my life. And a big part of that is fitness and health, because they go hand in hand. If I don't feel good health wise, then don't feel good in anything else. So.
Right. If you're running in the morning, is it because you're cleaning your apartment? Probably not. Right. So you're like, so I still have a messy apartment and I didn't run. Yeah. So whatever. So nothing has changed.
An hour? Like.
Right. And that's great that you had this idea in this picture, but obviously maybe it was a little grand, or maybe your picture was through rose-colored glasses there. But and that's really huge when it comes to goal setting, is that making sure that it's realistic and obtainable. I mean, you can come in guns blazing and saying, hey, I'm going to make this happen. But, reality sets in, and getting pulled left and right and trips. I mean, it can easily break you down. So, I mean, it's natural that you've been frustrated at moments. But, I mean, I think right here you're kind of through a breakthrough, and you got through the frustrating part. And knew it wasn't because you couldn't physically do it. It's just because you were getting pulled in way too many directions, So.
Yeah, and then it felt like there was so much on my table that I just didn't want to do anything. It's like I was so overwhelmed. I'm just going to have a bottle of wine and a pizza, which doesn't help anything. So
at that moment, it might have just helped just in here and right here.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. No, it's completely normal. And in a couple of weeks, you might have a setback where you don't run for a while. Yeah. It's going to happen. It's just, that straight line to your goal. It's never a straight line, and there's setbacks, but it doesn't mean you completely lose it all. And, heaven forbid, I hate to say this, but, it's, first week in August. I mean, flu season is around the corner here in Michigan. Mm-hmm. And people who have been like working on running and all this other stuff, kids are about to go in school, and guess what? People are going to get sick around here. And schedules get crazy and shooken up, and people think that all the work that they've done all through the summer goes away, and it doesn't. But it's easy to freak out. But that's another thing, is just like making sure that you are working towards, like, not just in like this month, like how are you going to go in feeling by Thanksgiving? I don't.
That's the big thing too, is I'm trying to see this whole craziness that is my life right now as my new life, what I want. I mean, this is what I want to be doing. So how do I make this work on a day-to-day level? So it's been a lot of this last week, sitting down and kind of picturing the ideal life, and then working backwards. And what does that day-to-day look like? Okay, maybe in 10 years, I'm waking up with a husband and kids, and I'm going for a 6-mile run in the morning. Okay, let's dial that back to what I can do today. Let's do 2 miles in the morning. And, trying to trying to figure out, okay, if this is what I'm going to be doing, then I need to figure out how this is going to work long term. This isn't just like, I need to get in a bikini by December. Like, this is
right. No. Right. You're like, man, if I'm 23, that's where my focus is.
Yeah.
Right. Like, nah, that used to be a priority. But yeah, no, exactly. How is this going to fit into my day to day for the rest of my life? That's a scary thought. And here and there, you're going to have days that go by where you're like, well, that felt like a waste, because you felt like you were just trying to put the pieces together. I've done that, where I've done a career change, and you're just like, I have all this time, kind of hold on. But if you're a busybody, all of a sudden you take on all these things, and then now there's no time to do any of it. I've been in your shoes before. And so it settles down, but you got to freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
you do. That, so we're good. Check.
Done.
No, but something that worked before is like sitting down Sunday nights and planning out my week in my planner. So now with the app, that's what I did. I did my planner stuff, and then I went through the app and just scheduled it in, and it pops up on my Google calendars that, okay, and right. It works, because today I was like, okay, if we're going to meet at 8:30 in the morning, all right, I got to be done by 7:30. I got to be there at 6:30 at the latest. Okay, I'm going to get up at 5:30. Like, I work backwards now to add it in, knowing I'm going to do it that day. So, and obviously it's the first week of like really scheduling it in, but it's forced me to go on a few days that I wouldn't have this week.
Completely. Yeah. And it already looks like it's working in some ways. So, right. Give it a good shot. And yeah, for sure. But just, it looks like, you start doing that with food, and you start seeing the results will start showing, and you'll go, okay, I get it. Yeah. It takes a little time. It does.
Yeah.
That's the worst part, especially when you're really ready for something. You're like, it can't happen soon enough.
Right. All right. Right? I keep the restaurant. I need everything to come to me now. Like, that's
it is good. Yes.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I really appreciate the workouts that you've been sending, because that's been huge, because that's like the one part that I just don't get. Like, that's more than anything why I wanted a trainer, is I'm like, I'm lost. I'll go for a 2-mile run, and then I'll sit down and do nothing. And I know that I need that other element. And that's the part that I don't know.
Completely. And if you're just doing running, it creates an imbalance. All of a sudden, your posture is bad, and you realize you don't have any upper body strength. And it really, over time, it does limit your body for what you can do down the road. I'm working with someone right now who she's a cardio gal, but now that she's had a couple of kids and she's still doing the cardio stuff, she's just like, she can just tell how weak she is. And it's just, she's had a couple of aha moments where she's like, I thought I was fit, but no, I can just run and spin, but I can't lift anything. I can't pick up my kids like I used to and hold them longer. And just, she had a couple of examples that like really hit home for her. And having lean muscle mass on your body is important for just functioning properly through your day.
Yeah.
Well,
I've learned through injuries that if you don't have the muscle to keep burning the fat, you can run all you want, and the second you stop running, you're going to put that weight on, because there's not much. So I've done the hard way a few times, and I'm like, I need the lean muscle as well as the cardio for sure. So
yeah, completely. Because if you are just doing the cardio, then you are legit going to be playing the I'm worried about how many calories I'm burning, and then what I'm putting in my body. And then you start doing that back and forth, and it gets maddening. I think we discussed, we might have touched on this at first meeting, is that the cardio world turns into calorie world, and you get worried about input and output. And yeah, you should have some sort of gauge on that. Yeah. But it starts turning into this obsessive number counting thing, when you should just be able to eventually get to the point where you enjoy your food and enjoy a workout, not being concerned about how many steps it was and what that equals and how many beers I can have. Which we've all been there. We're like, dang, that was only one summer shandy. Shit. I got 3 more miles to go. That's a bad way. That's like punishment, right? And that makes exercise punishment. Yeah. It should be like, holy shit, this feels good. Look what my body can do, and go and do it.
Yeah.
That's what exercise has gotten away from. It's turned into punishment, which turns into a bad relationship. And what do most people do for bad relationships? Well, they should get the hell out. But they, it usually ends up being an unhealthy thing. So,
yeah.
But I'm so glad that app is helping. Awesome. All right. I'm going to go get my workout on.
Cool. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.